Hey guys, Sonic's here. Welcome back to another one of these videos here for Sonic's Campfire. Now, I did mention in the previous video, the little welcome back video, that I am gonna continue, playing games that I enjoy and just have, that I'm having fun with. And this is it. This is one of my childhood games, a staple, a comfort game that I like to, kind of play, and I love it. I know a lot of you, are also gamers here. So, question that I have for all of you is, what's your comfort game? Like, if you guys were to choose one, do you guys have, any of those games in mind? It doesn't even have to be a game, like an activity that kind of takes you home, like brings you back to the nostalgia. This was it for me. I mean, I made this game when I was like at least 9 or 10 years old. And it was a really fun time because I'd be in school, like I was in middle school, and I was like with my friends who first started playing it with me, and I was like, oh my gosh, guys, finish your homework fast, we're gonna play Wizard 101. And that kind of set the mood and the expectation of the game to be a place that I could just be me, have fun with my friends, and yeah, I mean, is there a game like that for you guys? Yeah, that's like the kind of like the thing that I feel like we're missing out on nowadays. It's because our world is very, very, very fast focused, right? Like, what's the next grind that we have to do? What's the next big milestone that we have to reach? And we're always looking at the future, which is not a bad thing, but like it's like looking at the future in like a lens of like I haven't made it yet. Instead, maybe shift your focus on what's already been done, of what makes you feel great, because I think a lot of us have forgotten like the simple joys in life almost. So yeah, I think nostalgia is a hell of a thing, right? And not so good in some certain instances, right? Obviously, now that I'm an adult, I have adult money, so I have spent a decent amount of things on this game. So it was like, this is my childhood game. I deserve to buy this crazy mount or this crazy spell. In fact, this spell that you see right here, I ended up, I don't know, spending, I think, I forgot, less than $100 for it, but I did spend for it. And I was like, well, you know what, I'm an adult and this is one of my favorite games and I play it, so I'm gonna get it. But like, so nostalgia could be in that case maybe not a good thing, but in other cases, like in most cases, it's like sometimes going back to something that you enjoy could just be the thing that you might need, genuinely, like, in movies, for example, like movies, I used to kind of have a fallback. I love horror movies. Like, horror movies are like probably one of my staple, like, if I was to ever have to watch anything, I'd watch a horror movie 100%. And for me, I had a stable movie called As Above, So Below, and that was like absolutely one of my favorite movies ever, because it's kind of like, like those, like you watch it through their eyes kind of thing, like the recording, like found footage, that's the word. And it's a pretty old movie. It's not that old, but it's old enough to where I have watched it a lot. And that's kind of like my comfort movie, I feel like, if I have to, if I was to say that. So I guess my question really is, it's not like, what's your comfort thing that you always fall back on? Because there are days, I feel like, a lot of people have asked me, like, how do you Sonics, how do you deal with stress? Like, what's when I feel overwhelmed, and maybe taking a breath and going back to something that you really enjoy, even if you have to think, take 30 minutes to really think about it, because we've been so caught up in this thing called life, right? Really think about it, and you might never know. You might have like an untapped well of nostalgia that might just bring you a little bit more joy. So that's really the one thing that I want to share with you guys, because I've been having so much fun recently, playing this. I even off like recording, actually before I started recording this, I've been playing this game, like replaying it for like probably like 2 weeks now, but like consistently. I've actually stopped playing Apex for a decent minute because I've just taken the time to actually play this game. Like I didn't stream for like 4 days straight because I decided to play this game. And like that's the thing, like I feel happier now almost. It's weird. Because now like I don't have to put up a face or have to be like this crazy guy that has to perform at its absolute peak at a video game. Like I could just be me and just have fun, and that's all I really need, So like I think I've told you guys, like I quit my job recently and I took like content creation full time, which has been a truly wonderful blessing to be able to do something like that. However, what it does pose a risk is that it makes it so where this becomes a job for you. So this has kind of been now something that I Apex, creating the guides, creating the videos, it sort of has become like a job. I mean, it is a job. So what I've noticed is that playing these kind of games for me is like the after job. I didn't know I needed it until I actually downloaded it again. Like I even started playing Minecraft again. This is kind of like the reason why Sonic's Campfire is like kind of like starting back up, or I'm redefining the old channel. Finding that kind of passion again it's not easy, because like I said, you can get caught up in this game called life and you might not even know it. So find that that spark and that thing again, because you just never know. Just never know. And if you're out here listening to the to the channel, welcome to the Sonic's Campfires. This channel, I really just want it to be really chill, like really unedited, like I don't want to say ASMR or anything like that, but more so like a relaxing place where you could just be you and I could be me. Use the comment section to say whatever you want to say. Obviously be kind to others and be respectful, but whatever's on your mind, I'm here for you. Let's see what happened today. Well, it's a new year, so something that I've been trying to do recently is trying to be a little bit more conscientious of the things that I do, especially healthy eating and healthier habits, because I mean I know last year it was really bad. I mean, I actually ended up ordering food through like DoorDash a lot, and it was not healthy, like at all. It was really unhealthy, and I I did gain a lot of pounds from that. And what I'm realizing now is it's time to reel that back in and start to make healthier choices. So it's something that I kind of like want to start doing, and I've made little small progress here and there. I've started to walk the dogs a lot more recently, and just being able to kind of make just those smarter choices go a long way. And even if I don't technically, like, I haven't been eating as much vegetables as I should, I've been making the switch of not, you know, eating out as much and maybe eating at home more. You know, cooking does wonders for your health. If you cook healthy food, obviously. But I think cooking beats, like, ordering out any day, at least. So, you know, if that's something that you guys are trying to do this year, I would recommend not just, like, going cold turkey, completely trying to eat vegetables 4 times a day if you used to eat chips all the time, and, you know, like, make small gradual progress, and be proud of the progress you made. If you fail a day or two, that's fine. No harm, no foul for that. So, you know, just try your best, and you know, you don't have to impress anybody. Like, if you try to compare yourself to other people, right? Like, the only thing that happens is that you just feel worse. Everyone's in their own race, so, you know, stay in your lane, and the only, you know, it's so cliche, but the only person you should be really comparing yourself to is yourself. You know, so it's a really, like, you know, all these little, what I've noticed in life is that all these little phrases, like, you know, you should treat others like you treat, like, how you want to be treated, or, like, you know, like, focus on your own race, or, like, stuff like that. Like, it sounds so cliche, like, the more that we hear it. But I realize, like, there's a reason why all those things are overset, because they're overly important. I don't know, it's weird, because, like, as a kid, like, I feel like I was super, like, rebellious back then. And I oh, was this a boss fight here? Yeah, I was super rebellious before. And I don't know, like, I was really, like, always trying to go against the grain, right? If someone told me to do something, I would just be like, no, I don't want to do that. You know, I think what I know is better, or whatever. Which sometimes you know, 50-50, right? However, I started to realize that, like, there is some truth in what people have to tell you, especially if they're, like, someone that's 10, 20, even 30 years older than you. Like, you might think, like, what they have to say is unimportant, they're trying to bother you, but you just never know. Maybe you could take that advice to heart and see some, you know, they're not, like, most people aren't out to get you guys. That's the one thing. Like, people are, like, they're genuinely good people in the world. And I think what's kind of sucks is that, like, we've been so conditioned to be so defensive, and so whenever, I mean, I am the same way, and it's something that I want to, you know, start to break that pattern. But what I'm saying is, like, it is, like, not always a good thing. I just realized this overlay Kofi.Sonics was popping up right here. You see that? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm not gonna cut that out. I'm just gonna put that above there so you don't see it. I'm gonna hide it. I'm so sorry about that. That's like that's my little thing for when I stream Apex, so I apologize for that. I am using the same computer I use to, and software when I stream Apex, so sometimes the overlays are still there. But yeah, sometimes there is some truth to, you know, certain things, which we might not always agree with. And yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the one part. Like, self-ego is a really big thing, and we don't like to say we're wrong. I mean, trust me, I don't like to say that either. But if you just, like, take the time to, you know, hear people out, you never know what people have to share, and it could be something that could absolutely change your life. So all right, let's see here. Yeah, so when I another thing I want to share with you guys is that when I record these videos, I completely don't edit them. So once in a while, you will hear me to mute my mic, because if you know, someone's in the background that I have to talk to, or I have to take a phone call, or so I don't even edit those. I just want, like I said, I just want this to be like completely like do you remember 2010 YouTube? How that felt? I want it to be like that. You know, I want to bring, that's why I want to bring the campfire from 2010 in 2026. You know, OG YouTube. Like that's the goal. If we can get that, like, this platform has just so many videos where it's so hyper edited, you know, like brightest colors for the thumbnails. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I do the same for my Apex content, so I can, you know, help to win the algorithm. But maybe the point of it isn't to every time, you know. Hell, maybe the point of it all is to not even care, as weird as that sounds. Like, as a content creator, the biggest thing for me was numbers, and it's actually a really bad thing. You know, caring about numbers is not it's not a good metric to have. I actually have the YouTube analytics. This is something that I for sure want to work on. I have the YouTube analytics app on my phone, and I have it pulled up pretty. It's really bad. I have it pulled up to the point where I can like in the bottom where you can have 4 apps you can always have. I have it there, and it's not good. I will tell you this, because obviously the risk comes where you can check too much, which I do. I actually check it like probably in a day like 50 times. It's really bad. So I'm like, oh, did my video perform well, or did it do this, or did it do that? And it's not healthy. That's the habit that I'm probably trying to break, like top 3. So, which is like another reason why this channel is something that I really want to do, because for this one, I want to learn to not care. Like, I want to learn to not care. Like, there's a beauty behind creating something and not just not being worried about how it turns out, you know. As a creator, it's a really hard thing to balance too, because obviously, you know, the Apex channel is technically my job, so I have to kind of care about the performance, so I can refine what I need to refine, but it comes with the not so good thing of caring too much, and now you're overly invested in something that you shouldn't be. It's a really, really hard balance to find. That's the one risk when it comes to content creation, is now that you're risking it a little too much, the emotional state. And you could become invested to an unhealthy standpoint. And yeah, that's the main thing, you know. Stop caring about the numbers so much. You know, a lot of people, like, I in middle school I was a pretty bad kid. I had D's and I was failing classes left and right. Just not good at all. And what I realized was, you know, the main thing that I realized about it was it's really not all about the numbers. Like, it's not, because once I went to high school, I became this top A student, you know, graduated top of my class. Same thing in college, went to all these different clubs, became part of all these different groups. You know, I even did JROTC, you know, and try to, like, I became the commanding officer of that. I had so many people like what is that called? That I had to, you know, help train and all these different things. And and I, became the typical star student. And I'm not trying to blow, like, toot my own horn or anything like that. I actually missed out on life. I did. I missed out on life during that time. Now, this wasn't the time that I talked with it. I'm telling you, where I played Wizard 1, well, I was like Wizard 101. That was in high school when I was like not doing so well. But I'm talking about when I started to like, okay, shift my life, try to improve my grades, but not to the point where it was unhealthy. I was getting 2 hours of sleep, so I could get my grade from a 94 to get my grade from a 94 to a 90 to a 96. Right, which doesn't, that 2% jump is not going to matter when you have a job, right? Like, like the numbers. It's the numbers thing again. Like, sometimes the number like isn't all what it's set out to be. So yeah, that's the one thing that I kind of realized the more that I've gone through life. The finances too, like, okay, you're not hitting the number this month. Like thankfully I'm done with this stage of my life where the like Instagram, oh, you're not hitting the amount of posts that you want, the amount of likes on this post. Like, thankfully that's it. I've actually have gotten like the need to be able to social validation and all that. Like, thankfully I'm that stage of my life is completely gone. And if that's something that you're still struggling with, please try to work on that one, because that'll help free up a lot of your emotional bandwidth. I'll tell you that. So yeah, that's. But you see what I'm saying? Like, numbers suck. You're held prisoner to the numbers sometimes. And it's crazy because imagine like being a baby and like you're just born, and like, I don't know, like like you're literally just born, and then you don't know about any of these numbers, these like these expectations, these rules, right? And then bam, like now you have to meet these numbers, and it's like the whole like nature versus nurture thing. Like, this is for sure a nurture thing. Like being set to these expectations of who you should be in life and stuff like that. Which I think, I love the fact that we're finally getting to this topic. I love how like I'm just rambling. Sorry about that, by the way, guys. I'm just completely yapping your freaking ears off. But it's cool. I was like, I wonder how. I really want to talk to you guys about something, but I just decided to just start rambling, and I finally got to the point where it all ties back into this. The life trap. Like, this is the main thing that I feel like it's like people, the whole nurture thing, right? People expect you to be something when sometimes you don't even expect it to be. You don't even expect yourself to be that thing. Like, it sucks, because as a kid, like, you look up to a lot of people, and it would be nice if a lot of those people would not tell you exactly what to do. They would just tell you to find your own path, and you don't have to do what I'm doing. But unfortunately, as a kid, you're very susceptible to, being like what adults tell you should be doing. And even as a teenager, even making those decisions to go to college, for example, at a very young, early age. And your brain hasn't even fully developed yet. So like, it's hard, man. It's not an easy thing. So, the main thing about it is like I did make a topic on this before, but like, college really is just a very weird thing. That's where it begins. The life trap begins there. Because now you're expected to like, kind of do, okay, you're in high school, right? And you're what, 16, 17, and you're expected to be able to kind of go to be the best in high school, and that sets you up already. for the numbers thing we talked about. And now you go to college. Well, you have to make that decision, right? In like 2 to 3 years. What if you don't know what to do? Well, now you have to make that split-second decision based on your whole life is going to depend on that 30-minute choice of what college to go to. And if you don't make that choice, well, you're not going to be quote-unquote successful. Okay, so let's say you make that choice, which, by the way, I did all these things, so I can tell you guys from personal experience, it is not fun. And make that choice. Adults help guide that decision for you, unfortunately. And yeah, and then you go to this college, you spend a lot of money on loans, and yeah, and then bam, I mean, for me, I will say my loans are up in the 6 digits now. Yep, it's very unfortunate, and I don't even use that degree now. And you know, to be able to quit my day job for the actual thing that I ended up studying for was a very difficult thing for me to do. But I really didn't like doing that job. I just didn't. I absolutely like it wasn't my calling. It wasn't my passion. And because I made that choice back when I was, you know, so young. And it's no one's fault but my own, I feel like. So, I mean, that's the thing behind it. Now, let's veer off from me, right? Let's pretend someone else other than me continues said job for said degree they went to school for, right? Because they want to be societally, quote unquote, you know, successful. And now they're working a job that they absolutely do not like for the next 10, 20, 30 years. 9 to 5 job, 40 hours a week. Sounds great on paper. Health insurance, dental, vision covered, 401k, you know, Roth, the whole 9 yards, right? You do that all, right? But for what? You're just not happy. Like, but then if you don't, the cost of living is so high, what else could you do? So like, do you see what I'm saying with a life trap? Like, let's say you get to 60, right? You can get your retirement. Retirement won't cover it, you know? You needed to have other extra means of liquid assets to be able to cover your living expenses because, you know, forbid at, you know, 2050, 2060, cost of living is going to keep increasing. So it's not going to cover. Inflation occurs. So like, I mean, that's the main thing. It's either you know, it seems like you just do something you're not happy to do, but you can make a hell of a living for it, or you choose the route, kind of the way I'm doing it, the much harder route, and you still worry about, you know, the little things like, oh, you know, would I be able to afford this today, or I mean, or this week or this month? And it gets better. It gets better every few months. But that's the life trap. Like, I don't know. It's like, I just feel like we're just trapped. Like 21st century it feels like we're almost trapped in this society. I don't know, it's weird. Like, you're basically kind of forced into a decision where you cannot be able to be creative freely. You know, imagine people that want to be an artist or something, and they actually do have a passion for it. They can change a lot of lives. But unfortunately, they you know, they don't have the financial means to be able to sustain their creative goals. And then now Well, the world just lost an artist. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the life trap, man. You know, like you feel so trapped in the decisions you make. It almost feels like you can't make the decision, like you can't even make a decision. You know, it's either, you know, but for me, I feel like the way I was able to surpass that was I went by this term, which is a really, 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 really cool term. It's 3 words, 2 R's. Risk over regret. That's it. I'd rather live a life full of like, you know, going through risk and actually doing what I would want to do versus regretting in the future when I'm 60 and thinking like, oh, well, I regret that I never did that. Because what if? Actually, what if is the worst feeling ever. I don't know if you guys know, but What If it's a show. It's like a Marvel show, and it goes through all the what ifs of like, well, what if Steve Rogers was never Captain America, and it shows like a bunch of different scenarios. But I mean, like, at the end of the day, like, what if, right? Like, what if you live this? What if you decided to try that thing? Well, maybe that's. Look, there's a spell called. You guys see this spell? It's called a trap. This little, it's kind of like a triangular shape. This here is called a blade. Okay. So I will show you something cool. So I'm gonna cast a blade right here, and then that's a trap. That right there, that's the life trap. This little blade right here, this little trap, that's a life trap. And my little, like what I was talking about, the risk over regret, doing something that you actually want to do when it's sometimes not the most financially, you know. I've tried it. I've tried that route. It just didn't work out for me. And the way that I feel like I'm going to break this trap on this guy is to be able to just try something else. That's what it is, you know. Just try something else. You've already tried. If you know, no harm, no foul. If a lot of you have already tried it, try something else. You don't have to be stuck forever, and that's how you break the life trap. I don't know. That's just one answer to it. I'd be happy to hear if you guys have any other answers, or if you're stuck in that trap too. Or what's your life trap? I feel like everyone has their own situation to it. You know, so hey, I'm curious. You know, like what's trapping you in life right now? And how are you breaking out of it? I'm curious. If it is okay to what is that called? You know, kind of, if you guys do comment that, I do want to tell you this. In future videos, since I am going to be uploading Minecraft and other stuff, I might have some simpler ideas where I'm going to be playing Minecraft, and I'm literally just going to be having a campfire in front of me, not really doing too much, just relaxing and having a great time, and I'll read some of your comments. So I like I said, I won't say your name per se, so I can kind of keep it anonymous. It's not really gonna be anonymous anyway, because everyone can read the comments, but for the video, and then I'll read your comments and I'll respond to it, so you know that you're not alone in whatever you're going through, and that other people can hear your story as well. Because I want to give you guys a voice. Like Sonic's Campfire, like that's it. Like I am just the one who lit the match for the fire to burn. I want you guys to be sharing your stories. Alright, sorry about that. I to do something really quick. I know I said I'm not gonna do any edits, but I just cut that section out because I had to do something really quick. So I really apologize for that, for the first video that we have for the channel. So oh my gosh, I just realized I don't think I packed enough spells for this section. It's okay, no worries. But yeah, no, that's the main thing that I wanted to share with you guys, like the purpose of what this channel is. And like, yeah, if you guys, you know, some stories that you want to share, I mean, it is like a campfire, like at the end of the day. So, you know, share those stories and just be you. And I feel like, you know, if what is that called? It's kind of like a Sonic's like mailing thing. I wish there was a mod in Minecraft where if you guys send the way you guys like messages, like a mailing thing, right? And in Minecraft, I'd receive it and I could just read it through like a little part, you know, like on the map in the Minecraft, you can look at a map and you could read the map. How sick would that be if I could read like your comment on a video? That would be a sick mod, but I'll just probably just do it through my phone or something. Yeah, I mean, that's the main thing. I just want to get you guys involved and be part of the channel and have it grow together, you know. And if it grows, it grows, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't. So I'm really like loving this quest here because you guys see how we're progressing through it. Ooh, this is a boss battle. Cool. All right, let me see. I got a lot of awesome people from my stream today. You know, they were really kind, and I told them about the Sonic's campfire thing, and a lot of them were really excited for it actually. So I really appreciate and I think that you guys are going to see a lot of friendly faces here if you're coming from there. I have to grow this one just as much as the other one, and even if we don't, like I said, the numbers thing, right? Forget about those numbers for a little bit, and yeah, and just be you. What I think would be cool. Oh, look at that! So this spell is really cool. It actually cast another shield. Do you see that? Like the pet did two things there. It's called a May Cast Mass Feint. Which, if you don't play this game, it won't make any sense to you. But what it does is that the pet can cast another trap. Oh, you guys know what traps are. It can cast another trap on the enemy because it recognizes that you or the pet just placed a trap on the enemy. So it's gonna be like, oh, let me cast another trap. It may cast it. That's why it's called May Cast. And it just casted another trap, which is really, it's such a nerdy thing. I know it doesn't make any sense if you don't play. But I'd love that spell, that the pet can do that. I trained this pet for a really long time. Like over the course of a few months to be able to get this one. And I'm super happy that we have it. Yeah. Okay, but yeah, there's sort of like a, I don't really know what to do with the topics for this channel yet. Like, I used to make shorter videos before. Like, in this video, I probably talked about maybe like 8 to 10 different things. And I used to split those up in like the course of like 5, 10, 15-minute videos. But I didn't realize being able to just kind of ramble and yap would like allow me to actually like generate more. You know, it's not static. Like it's like flowy, like kind of like flow state when you play like any video game. Like once you're in the flow, like things unlock that you don't realize that could. So yeah, I love it. Look at that damage right there. This is why oh my gosh, I just healed all my health. This is why I love the Death School. Death School is the coolest, is one of the coolest schools in this entire game, because you do this thing called the drain. Every other school, you have to worry about, like, oh, if you have to worry about attacking and healing separately. Death, you do it both. So like you completely skip that step. This is why like people say like being in death like is the best solo school, because you don't need a team. There in that fight, I probably would have need like two to three more people if I was another school. And I was a Storm school before. It was the worst school. It's literally glass cannon build. But you know what? I think I feel great there. I will yeah, I'm gonna call it there. I think I've talked to you guys. Talked your ears off for sure, right? A lot of you are probably waiting to click off this video here. But I'm gonna call it there. Like, look how nice the graphics are still 2010-ish, of course. But I really like how much they worked on it. You know, the developers of the game. Yeah, we feel on top of the world, so why don't we just go there? All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and I will see you in the next video. I will read every single one of your comments, so don't be shy. Have a beautiful rest of your day, guys, and yeah, take care.